Yes.
Okay.
And we're live.
Are we live?
Yes.
Nice.
We're telling your followers that you've started a live video.
Awesome.
Go for it, Mark.
Good morning, everybody. Mark here in the Union satellite at my home. And oh, here comes Stacy
Hi.
into the shot. So glad you joined us this morning. Morning again with Mark and Stacy.
Yes.
If you are new to your yin yoga practice, here's some stuff about it. With the yin practice, you might be asking yourself, what is this yin word all about? You might have seen in your life somewhere this little symbol, the circle. Well, let me hold on. Copy now. This little circle with the two paisley little dots and the dots and whatnots. It's a symbol of yin and yang. And the yin is the dark and the yang is the white. And there's a little piece of each inside the other. And it's about balance. And it's about evening things out in your life. And so many of our yoga practices that we do have a lot to do with the yang side of things, the yang, however you want to say it. And so the yang is about do more and work hard and be active. And the yin side of things, which we're going to do this morning, is more about just being and experiencing and stillness. That said, the nice thing about the yin practice is that the definition of a yoga pose or a yoga asana stays the same, whether you're doing yin or yang. A yoga pose is just finding your expression of a posture and holding it in stillness while you breathe. The active portion of your yoga practice in a yin practice is actually accomplished by your props. So your props hold your body up and allow gravity to work so that it puts a gentle therapeutic stress on the tissues of your joints to help open them up, to help keep them healthy. And so for your practice this morning, you will want maybe a bolster or a pillow. Stacy, since you're there, hold up your bolster. Or you can just use a pillow or a couple of pillows. You might want some blankets or towels. Beach towels are lovely for this kind of thing, or whatever you've got. And if you have a yoga block, you can use that. You can use, I don't know, a soup can or an encyclopedia. Does anybody have encyclopedias anymore? I don't know. Yeah, you could use anything that will just prop up your body and support it so that gravity can do its thing and help your body to open up. So, today's practice, all about the legs. We've been sitting a lot. We've been doing a lot of just still stuff on our couches since we've been sheltering in place. And so it's a good idea to get some blood flow to the legs and to get things going. And I'm going to take one more sip of coffee, and then we'll go for it. Stacy, you want some more coffee?
Yes.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Here's
Cheers.
to you, yin and slancha. All right. Find a comfortable seated position for yourself. Stacy, thank you for being my DJ.
Yes. That's what I'm good for.
If you have a towel or a blanket, you might want to sit on your blanket or on your bolster just to give your hips a little bit of a prop up and not be so heavy and difficult for yourself. We'll start with breathing. Just to center ourselves, just to ground ourselves. If you've ever taken our U Basic class, we start that class with a breathing exercise that incorporates the movement of the arms. So we'll do that breath here at the beginning. We'll take maybe 8 or 10 of those. As you inhale, you'll open your arms wide and fill your lungs up to their maximum. And as you exhale, you'll slowly bring your arms across your chest, maybe grab your shoulders, give yourself a little tuck in. And then inhale. Very slowly use the movement of your arms to measure the pace of your breath. Exhale, cross the opposite arm on top. Tuck your chin. All the air out. Inhale. Drag the air through the back of your throat. Warm it up as it goes into your lungs. And then exhale. Loud ha sound. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. As you inhale, start to look up a little bit. Lift your chin, lift your chest. Exhale. Draw your chin in, draw your belly in. Get all of the air out. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. And come back to a neutral seated position. We'll start with butterfly. So bring your legs out in front of you. You might want to have your blocks handy. Maybe your blanket, whatever you need here. We'll start with an extended leg butterfly. So bring the soles of your feet close together. Let them touch. And if you need a block to prop underneath your knees, that's great. As we practice this morning, I'm always going to start us off with the most support that we can get. And as we move through these postures, which we'll hold for 3 to 5 minutes apiece, you'll have the option to intensify the depth of your pose by maybe taking some props away. If you'd like your bolster, you can have that in front of you, or a blanket, or just reach your hands out in front of you and lean forward. You should be feeling this in your hips, in the insides of your legs. You can either clasp your hands in front of you, let your hands rest on the floor, let your hands rest on the bolster, and breathe here. It's funny, some people who were tuning into our yin class yesterday morning, they said this is the most boring thing in the world to watch. And it's true, there's a lot of stillness here. So give yourself the chance to be. Give your body a chance to open. As you're resting here in this pose, ask yourself, where do you feel? Maybe you feel in your hips. Maybe you feel in your inner thighs. Wherever you feel it, good. Take slow, deep breaths in. And long, luxurious exhales out. On your inhale, send your breath to where you feel the pose. And on your exhale, breathe out that feeling and see if you can feel something else. Take another deep inhale. And slow exhale. At this point, if you would like to explore a little bit deeper into the posture, you could take the blocks away from under your knees, or maybe move the bolster further away from you so you can rest your head closer to the floor. Whatever you need to do to feel more. And when we talk about feeling in these postures, know that nothing in these postures should be painful. You should never be so deep in a posture that you find it difficult to breathe or that you find yourself holding your breath. Just enough pressure that you can feel your joints, you can feel your muscles stretching. There's lots of ticks going on in my house. I have a cuckoo clock and a grandfather clock. And so the rhythm of my life is the pendulums swinging back and forth. It's the soundtrack for my house. But often I have guests come over and it drives them crazy. And so this is where you have to find your inner yin and just allow yourself to be. Slowly take a deep breath. Start to walk your hands and push yourself up out of the posture. Move your props off to the side. You can counter this maybe by bringing your knees together or shaking out your legs, whatever feels good to you, to relieve the pressure that you just put on your hips, your inner thighs. From here, we'll move into our straddle pose. So again, have your props handy, close by for yourself. Stacey, you move forward, I'll move back.
Go sideways.
Or go sideways, because you have the good straddles. So bring your legs out just as wide as you can. You can see that my legs do not go very far out. Stacey is like doing the splits. You can have your bolster out in front of you, long-wise or wide-wise, whichever works best for you. You can put a blanket on top of it. Let your legs be loose and easy. If you need to sit on a blanket or a towel just to prop your hips up and let them tilt a little bit forward, great. And then slowly bring your hands out in front of you. Walk yourself forward. You can rest your forehead on the bolster or on the blanket. And as you go forward, you might find that you feel a lot in the backs of your legs, in the backs of your knees, and maybe it would feel good to put a block underneath your knees just to support them. And then breathe here. Listen to the splinky, splinky music. As you inhale, slowly breathe into those parts of your legs where you feel this. And as you exhale, give your legs permission to relax. Tell yourself that it's okay. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Just be and breathe. Another slow inhale. And deeply exhale. At this point in your pose, if you would like to explore a little bit more depth, you could try removing some of the props and seeing if you can hold there with breath and ease. So if you have props under your knees, see what it's like to take them out. If you have a blanket on top of your bolster and you want to give yourself a little more depth, you remove the blanket and allow yourself to fold a little bit deeper forward. As you inhale, scan your body. Are you holding your muscles tight anywhere? As you exhale, let your muscles relax. Let your body feel. Be. Slowly inhale, start to push yourself back up out of the posture. And you can remove your props from out in front of you. Find your counter pose. Maybe it's pulling your legs in close to each other. You want to lie down on your back or just shake out your legs. There's no prescription here. Just allow some blood to flow back into your body. straddle pose will move now into caterpillar. So bring your legs out in front of you, straight, together. If you'd like to use your blanket as a prop underneath your knees, that might feel good. You can put your bolster on your lap or on your legs in front of you, or sometimes people like to build a little fort on either side of their legs and set the bolster on top of it. Whatever works best for you. As you inhale, take a breath, lift your chest, and then exhale, slowly walk your hands forward. Rest your head on your bolster or on your legs, and be here just a few minutes. You should feel this on the backs of your legs. Maybe you feel it under your knees. You make adjustments as you need for your body. And once you've found that place where you feel, be there. Breathe slowly and deeply. Another slow, deep breath. As you exhale, maybe this is the time where you want to explore a little bit more depth with your posture. Maybe take some of your props away, or maybe you need to add some props. As you inhale, scan your body. Are you holding any of your muscles tightly? As you exhale, let your muscles relax. Allow gravity to do the work for you. Inhale, slowly start to come out of the pose. And as you exhale, maybe move the props away. Find your counter pose. Bend your knees into your chest. You can windshield wiper your legs, whatever feels good for you. And slowly transition onto your hands and your knees. Have your props close by. Have your plots. Plots. We're gonna go into swan and sleeping swan. So on your hands and your knees, bring your right knee close to your wrist. And you can play with the position of your right leg. You can either have, actually, Stacy's way better at this than I am. You can either have your right shin more parallel to the front edge of your mat, or for someone with tighter hips or knee issues, you might have to have your leg more jackknifed in like mine is. Wherever you are is fine. Again, this is not about how the pose looks, but about how the pose feels. So you might want to put a block or a blanket underneath your right hip to support you, or maybe even a bolster underneath your left hip to support you. We'll start in full swan, so with your chest up, and just allow gravity to work on your hips here. Want some help there, Stace? Got it? Okay. So you see that Stacy, with her short arms, has her blocks on either side of her. It's great. You use the blocks to support you. If you have long arms like me, maybe you don't need the blocks. Maybe you can just press your hands against the floor. Breathe slowly in. And as you exhale, allow your hips to sink into the earth. Just be. Now we'll transition into the sleeping swan, so take a deep breath. And as you exhale, slowly walk your hands out in front of you. You can rest your head on your hands, or on a block, or on the floor. Wherever you feel it. You might feel this on the inside of your hip. You might feel it on the outside of your glute. You might feel it more on the front side of your left hip. All of those are right. All of those are good. Breathe in slowly. And breathe out slowly. Again, breathe in slowly. And breathe out slowly. So you inhale, slowly start to press yourself back up. From here, we're going to move straight into shoelace on the right side. So lean into your right hip and swing your left leg around and over. So cross your left knee on top of your right knee. This is a great place for props. You might want to use your block and put it underneath your foot. Or you might want to use your block and put it underneath, in between your leg and your ankle. Wherever you need it. Maybe even you need a block or a blanket to lift your hips up and take some pressure off your knees and your hips. You can stay upright here. Take a moment where you're breathing. And as you're ready, feel free to bring the prop in front of you, bolster or blanket. You can start to walk your hands forward. Rest your head down on your knee or on your bolster, on your block. Stacy here is the queen of props. For me, I feel this posture more just sitting straight and tall, so that's where I will stay. That's where my body needs, this pose needs to feel. Where do you feel this, Stacy?
The outside of my left hip.
The outside of your left hip. Alexa, turnpikes on.
But I don't feel it until I move forward.
So part of Stacy's process, part of where Stacy's body needs to feel, is in her extension forward. For me, I feel plenty right here. Inhale slowly and deeply. And exhale, allow your body to sink further into the pose. Inhale again and slowly start to push yourself out of your posture. Move your props off to the side to come out of the posture. Lean over to your right. Unhook your left leg. And let your legs come out in front of you. Shake out your legs. Maybe pull your knees in close to you. Whatever feels good for you, just to release the pressure that you just had. And then we'll transition. Pigeon on the other side. Swan on the other side.
It's harder, right?
So once again, it's not hard at all. It's the most easy, natural thing in the world, Stacy. Once again, come onto your hands and your knees. This time, bring your left knee close to your left wrist. Again, you can play with having your shin parallel to the front edge of your mat or more parallel to the side edge of your mat, wherever your body needs to be. Start in full swan with your chest upright, so if you need your blocks on either side of you, or your soup cans, or whatever you've got to support you, stay here for a few moments. Take a slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, allow your hips to sink down toward the floor. And perhaps this side, your body feels different. Perhaps you feel this more in a different place than you did on the right side. Great. That's giving you information about your body. Just be here. You might feel it in your left hip. You might feel it outside in your left glute. Maybe you feel it on the front of your right hip. All of those are good. Take exhale, slowly start to bring your arms forward for sleeping swan. And you can rest your forehead on a block or on your bolster, or if it's in your flexibility, just to let your head go all the way down to the floor. Wherever you need to be right here and right now is exactly the right place. Take slow, deep breaths in. And as you exhale, breathe into those places where you feel, let them go. Again, inhale. And exhale, allow your body to settle further, deeper into the pose. Breathe. Inhale and slowly start to press yourself back up. We'll transition into shoelace on this side. So pull your left leg in a little bit closer and lean over to the left hip. Swing your right leg on top of your left. Stack your knees one on top of the other. Again, you might want to elevate your hips by sitting on a block or on a blanket. And if you know that folding forward feels good for you, maybe you have your bolster or your block set up in front of you here. If you need a little prop underneath your ankle, great. Take a deep breath, stretch your spine up. And as you exhale, slowly start to settle into your posture. It could mean staying upright, and it could mean folding forward. Shoelace on this side, ask yourself, do you feel it differently than you did on the other side? Maybe you feel it inside your hips rather than outside your hips. Great. Maybe you feel it more evenly on this side than you did on the other. Also great. Breathe slowly in. And slowly exhale. Another nice aspect of the yin practice is that because you hold these postures for so long, because you allow your body to be in a position for so long, the external heat that we're generally accustomed to in our other yoga practices isn't necessary. Some people love heat, so you see Stacy here is bundled up. She's got her socks and her leggings and her hoodie on. And here I am in my tank and my shorts. Well, okay. Both are right. Both are good. But it's the time that you spend in the posture that allows your body to work more into the pose rather than creating any internal heat or having any external heat to apply pressure to your joints, to warm up the joints. Take a slow, deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Start to push yourself up out of the posture. Again, swing your right leg over. Find a counter position that feels good for you. Maybe legs out in front of you. Shaking out your knees. Opening up the front sides of your hips. And slowly start to push yourself back up. We'll move into saddle pose. So come sitting down on your knees and your heels. I would recommend being up toward the front of your mat. And if you'd like, you can place your bolster behind you. Have your block handy. Push yourself up onto your hands. Are you all right here, Steve? I recommend setting your block in between your heels to start. You might have the flexibility to be able to sit down all the way to the floor, and that's great, but just for funsies, start sitting on the block. You may feel this in your knees, you may feel this in your thighs, or possibly your ankles as you stretch to the front side of your legs. Take a deep breath, inhale. And exhale. If you'd like, you can slowly start to go back on your elbows and rest your back on the bolster as Stacy is doing here. If you find that it's too much, add some height. Give your body the support that it needs. And depending on your depth in the posture, you can play with the placement of your arms. Maybe you have your arms out in front of you. Maybe you have your arms extended overhead. You get a little bit more stretch through your chest that way. Wherever you feel the most. Inhale. And exhale. If you'd like to play with your depth in the pose, you can maybe remove a block from underneath your hips and sit on a blanket instead. If you are upright in the posture as I am, you can play with reaching one arm over and getting a little bit of stretch on the side of your body, as well as in your hips. Coming back up. And leaning over the other way. And coming back up. And finding your stillness. Take a slow, deep breath. And slowly exhale. Feel your body settle deeper into your posture. Do another slow, deep breath. Slowly start to come up out of the posture. Use your elbows against the floor to push yourself back up. You're about to remove the props from underneath your hips. Put your legs out in front of you. Lie down on your belly. Wherever you feel the best counter stretch. So Stacy is in a perfect place here, prone on the floor. And now we'll transition into Banana Asana. So Stacy, go ahead and roll over onto your back. Now she's got to strip off some clothes. So you see she's lying down on her back. She'll bring her arms up over her head. And now, keeping your hips firmly planted on the floor, just stretch your arms and your upper body over to the right. As far as you can go. And once she's got her upper body over to the right, as far as she goes, she'll slowly start to bring her legs over to the right. So she's making this crescent shape. You might need to push your bolster out of the way. There she feels good. Does it feel good? Perfect. So here, you feel stretch on the left side. And you might feel it in the legs, or in your hips, or maybe all the way from the left finger, pinky, down to your left pinky toe. Getting opening, getting feeling on the left side of your body. Place your props as you need them. And just be here. Take slow, deep breaths and send your breath to the place where you feel the most in this posture. And as you exhale, slowly let the breath take that feeling away and see if you can feel something else. Slowly start to bring your legs back to the center. And bring your upper body back to the center. And find your counter pose. Maybe that's a stretch in both directions. Maybe your counter pose is pulling your knees into your chest, getting tight. Whatever feels good for you. Stacy's doing the windshield wiper for her legs. And then we'll transition Banana Asana on the other side. So stretch your legs out, stretch your arms out. Keep your hips firmly planted here on the floor. Move my stuff out of Stacy's way. With her arms stretched out, she's going to move her upper body first over to the left. And then she'll move her lower body over to the left so she has that crescent shape now. Getting the stretch on the right hand side of her body. And I think I'll join you. Again, it's always good to notice, do you feel differently one side to the other? It's perfectly normal for that to be the case. Again, send your breath to where you feel the posture. Slowly inhale. And as you exhale, release any tension. See if you can feel more or differently. Inhale. And as you exhale, settle further into your pose. Slow, deep breath. Slowly exhale to exit out of the posture. Bring your legs back to the center. Bring your upper body back to the center. Move any way that feels good for you. From here, we're going to transition into 2-knee reclining twist. So go ahead and pull your knees into your chest. You're yourself a little sacrum rock here, side to side. And now, Stacy, roll completely over onto your right side. Maybe you have to move your coffee, move your bolster. And Stacy's going to extend her arms straight out in front of her, like she's clapping. And then to get into the twist, Stacy will lift her left arm straight up in the air. And then over to the left side. You can choose where to look in this posture. Some people find it very helpful to look over their left shoulder toward their left hand. Others prefer to keep their head looking over their right shoulder, and some just would rather keep their head looking straight up. Whatever works best for you, wherever you feel. Breathe.
Lift your entrance in.
Yeah. Moving the arms rather than the legs sometimes helps you feel your spine differently. To exit out of the posture, take a breath. And as you exhale, stretch your left arm up and bring your body back over to the left side. And then for your counter pose, come back to your back. Maybe hug your legs into your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a sacrum rock. And then roll over completely onto your left side. And stretch your arms out in front of you, palms together. And now stretch your right arm up and over. And find your twist on this side. You might feel comfortable with a prop, maybe a blanket underneath your knees or in between your knees, wherever you need to be. Use whatever props you need for your body. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, slowly bring your right arm back over. And come back onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest, maybe a little sacrum rock for a counter pose. And then extend your legs out in front of you. Let your arms come down by your side. If you'd like a bolster underneath your knees or a blanket or blocks, like something to rest your hands on. The cuckoo clock tells us now that you have made it through your class. And here comes the other one. So breathe here. Be still here. This is your time for stillness. This is your time to let the poses that you've done settle into your body. So breathe and be still. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for your practice. We'll see you again soon. Namaste.
Don't mind me, I'm just gonna take a 30-minute nap.
Do it.
Just kidding.
Stay there as long as you need to.
I love your voice.
Thank you.
It brings me peace.